Thank you everyone for joining me tonight for our Zoom class. It's a little different practicing at home. If you do have props like blocks and straps, feel free to have them nearby. But if you don't, that's fine. You don't have to have them. I'll lead us through, showing options where you can use them or where you can skip them. And if you want to have something that kind of works like a block and you don't have a block, a good thick book works in a lot of cases. So you want to raid your bookshelf. And for a strap, I'm literally using the belt of an old rose. So you can use what you have around the house. So, and again, if you don't have anything that works, don't worry about it. You don't need to have it. It's just nice as an option. So, all right. I'm going to lead us through practice tonight that I like to do for athletic recovery. So this is kind of my go-to. And then at the end, we'll do that guided meditation that we've done before. And I just want to make sure that everyone can, I think everyone can hear me. So let's go ahead and get started. You go ahead and lie on your back. I'll join you. And you can either extend the legs out long, or if you want, you can bend the knees. We're going to ring our bell. A little reminder that we're moving out of the regular part of our day, moving into our practice, letting our mind move away from any worries about past or what may or may not happen in the future, and see if we can let our attention and focus be on what's really actually happening in this moment, using all of our senses, noticing what you can see and hear, smell and taste, noticing what you can physically feel about yourself in this moment, maybe the support of the surface below you, or feeling of the air, your clothing where it's touching skin. Allowing that awareness to move into a sense of the body itself, all the muscles and bones and joints and organs. Aware of how the body feels when it's breathing its natural breath. Rise and fall of the chest and belly. Feel air moving past your nostrils or your lips. You can stay here breathing your natural breath. You don't need to change anything. But if you want to, you can join me for a few rounds of 3-part breath. You can keep your hands where they are, or maybe you can put one hand on your belly so you can feel the belly when it's moving, and one hand on the heart so you can feel the chest moving. And we'll start with the next inhale. And as we breathe in, we're going to send the breath to the low part of the lungs and feel how that makes the belly expand. And then keep breathing into the middle of the lungs, feel the ribs expand, and keep breathing into the very top of the lungs and feel the chest expand. And then we'll exhale from the top first, let the chest soften, exhale from the middle, let the ribs soften, and exhale from the bottom of the lungs, let the navel draw back towards the spine. Do that again, inhaling navel, inhaling ribs, inhaling heart, exhaling heart, exhaling ribs, exhaling navel. And once again, inhaling navel, ribs, heart, exhaling heart, ribs, navel. Release that control of the breath, come back to your body's natural rhythm. And if you want to, you can take a moment here while you're breathing to welcome in any intention or focus that you have for your practice this evening. We're going to start to add some movement to that awareness of the breath. And we'll draw the knees in towards the chest, lift the feet up off the ground, and we can let the hands rest right on the knees. We're hugging the knees in towards the chest as the elbows bend and the low back flattens to the mat and the tailbone lifts up a little. And then when we inhale, we're going to straighten the elbows, push the knees away. You'll notice the low back starts to arch off the mat and the tailbone rocks onto the mat. So this is a spinal warm-up. Exhale, we'll draw the knees back in towards the chest. Let's just do that a few times at our own rhythm. Warming up the spine. Inhale to push the knees away. Exhale to draw them back in. Your own pace. Maybe once more. One more inhale. One more exhale. You can drop the hands down to the mat on either side, palms down. Feel that connection of our shoulder blades on the earth. And we're going to keep the knees bent. And you can either keep your feet lifted up like mine are, or if you want to, you can bring feet down. We're going to do a little twist here. So inhaling, letting the knees fall over towards the right. The hip will lift up on the left side, but see if you can keep both shoulder blades on the mat. Exhale, come back to the middle. And inhale, knees fall to the other side. Exhale, back to the middle. And go ahead and do that back and forth at your own pace. And you can either have feet on the ground or you can have them lifted up, whatever feels right for you. Do once more to each side, just so that we're even on both sides. Back at the middle, we can hug the shins or the thighs, maybe rock a little side to side, give that low back a massage. Then let's go ahead and stretch the left leg out onto the mat. So you can either keep that left knee bent and the foot on the mat, or you could stretch it all the way out long. And we're going to keep that right leg towards our chest. And here's where we have some options. You can bring the hands behind the thigh and start to straighten the right leg. Or if you do have a strap that you can use, you can place it around the ball of the right foot. Take either end in your hands and extend using the strap. Either way is fine. We're going to use the breath to extend through the heel as we inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to soften the knee and draw the thigh a little closer towards our chest. Inhale, lengthen and straighten. Exhale, soften and deepen. Again, that can be done with or without the strap. Inhale, exhale. Do one more here. Inhale and exhale. We're going to keep that right leg lifted. If you're not using a strap, you could use the right hand behind the right thigh. Put the left hand right on top of that left hip crease to keep that hip down. And we're going to open the leg just a little bit out to the right. It doesn't have to be really far. And if you're using a strap, just put both ends in the right hand. And again, let that left hand rest on the left hip. We're going to do the same thing. Inhale, lengthen through the heel like you're trying to bring those toes back towards your knee. Exhale, soften the knee. Bring the knee a little closer towards that right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften and deepen. Let's do a few more like that at your own pace. Last one like this. Back to the middle. And we're going to switch hands. So left hand will grab the strap if you're using it, or it'll come behind the left thigh. Right hand comes out to the side to help anchor you down. And we're going to take the right leg and cross it over the center line of the body, like just a little bit over to the left. But we want to keep our seat on the mat, so we're not coming into a spinal twist and lifting the hip up, keeping the hip down, just moving the leg over a little bit. So you may feel this in the thigh or the IT band. Then we'll do the same thing. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften and deepen. A few breaths like that. And if you're like me and have a tight IT band or some sciatic pain, this may feel pretty intense. So remember, more isn't always better. Just come to where you feel that resistance. Breathe into it. Try to push yourself to pain. Maybe one more breath. Inhale, exhale. Come back to the middle. If you're using that strap, let's drop it to the side. Give that right leg a little hug. And then send it out to meet the left leg. Let's just take a couple breaths here and just notice what this feels like. This is what both sides of the body feel like. Feel a little different right now. See if we can even that out. Let's draw the left knee in. Again, you can hug that thigh without the strap, or you can use the strap. Go right up the middle. Inhale, lengthen through the left heel. Exhale, soften and deepen. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. More like that. Let's do one more here. We'll let the right hand come down to the top of that right hip flexor. And we'll let the left leg open out to the left a little. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften and deepen. Take a few breaths just like that. Remember, if you have a strap and want to use it, you can. It's not necessary. You don't have to have a strap. You can do the same thing without one. One more inhale. Exhale. Bring that back to the center. Switch hands. Keeping the seat on the mat. Let's take that left leg just a little over to the right. Do the same thing. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften and deepen. Deep breaths just like that. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Back to the middle. Give both those knees a hug. Maybe rock a little side to side. And we're going to come up to seated. You can let your knees come to one side and use your hands to press to seated, or if you like that sensation of rocking and rolling forward and back, you can use that momentum to come up to seated. And let's find a space right off the middle of the mat and see if we can find that sense that we're sitting up on our sits bones, those little bony parts of our seat, and lengthen so that we're tall. Nice long spine here. And we may even feel that we're already using some core strength here, drawing the navel back towards the spine to keep the spine long. And you can use the hands next to you for a little support, maybe even lean back a little bit. If the spine's long and you need to lean back, that's fine. And then we're going to start to straighten the legs into a staff pose. And if you notice while you straighten the legs that you start to round the back, then go ahead and bend the knees as much as you need to so that the spine can stay long. Here's an opportunity here if you do have a block or book or maybe a rolled up blanket or something that you can use to get your hips a little higher. Sometimes that little shift, that little lift helps you keep a long spine when your legs are extended. So feel free to experiment with this and see what works best for you. Get up tall. Even if the knees are bent, let's make the legs active by pointing the pinky toes right up towards the ceiling. So we're flexing through the legs, feeling that activation in the muscles of the legs. Even though we're simply sitting, still a really active posture. The legs are activated, our core is activated, keeping our spine long. We're going to let our shoulders drop from our ears and draw our shoulder blades down our back so our chest is open. Let's take another breath here. Let it go. And we can shake that out a little bit. And let's open up our legs a little wider. It doesn't have to be the splits, but just so that the heels are a little wider than the shoulders. And once again, sitting up tall. And if you want to use that block, you can, or you don't have to. Feel free to play around with that. Once again, we're going to try to sit up tall so we can bend the knees as much as we need to keep that length in the spine. And we're going to keep the legs active by flexing those pinky toes up to the sky to the best of our ability. Sitting up tall here, we're going to turn our body to the right. And then exhale, we're going to hinge through the hips into a forward fold. It may not be super deep because we don't want to try to bring the head to the knee. It's like we're trying to bring the chest to the knee. So we're leading with the chest. Hands can be on either side of your leg, top of your leg. You can reach your toes, that's fine. It's not necessarily the goal. And again, if you have a strap and you want to use that here for a little bit of tension, you can use that. So, like when we had that leg extended, think about using the breath here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deepen into the fold. So right through that. Exhale, deepen. Another breath here. Next inhale, let's come back up through the middle. And let's turn to the left. Do the same thing here. Finding that length in the spine. Exhale, leading with the chest, folding forward. One more breath here. Inhale, coming back up. Let's turn right back to the middle. Sitting up tall, chest open. Exhale, let's hinge through the hips, right through the middle. May not be very far, especially if the legs are long and the spine is long. You can use the hands behind you for a little bit of support. You can reach them forward if you want to walk hands forward. Just see if you can keep that openness in the chest and that long spine. Resist that urge to round. Next inhale, let's come back up. Oh, let's shake that out a little. Whew. Get rid of my block here. And we're going to let the soles of the feet come towards each other. The knees come out wide, kind of a loose diamond shape. A little bit of a butterfly posture, still sitting up tall. And then exhale, hinging through the hips, folding forward. Hands can come down to calves or ankles, maybe to your feet. While you're here, if you want to give yourself a little massage, yourself a little treat here. Gratitude for taking time today. Something nice for yourself. One more breath. Let's sit up tall. Inhale. And then just once more, let's come back into that staff posture, extending the legs out in front And just notice how that feels. Does that feel a little different than the first time we came into it? Taking a couple breaths here to sense that. And let's soften that up. And let's turn all the way over onto our hands and knees into tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, fingertips spread wide, knees right under the hips. Finding that long spine again. Can you feel where the spine is long from the tailbone to the top of the head? Just notice how that feels. Find that again in a minute. Then let's slide the hands forward just a little bit. So the wrists are in front of the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Draw the navel in. Lift the knees up. And with the knees still soft, start to bring the chest towards the thighs, the hips towards the sky, into downward facing dog. Just like our staff pose, if you need to soften the knees so the spine stays long, go ahead and bend the knees. Then you can start to work on drawing the heels towards the mat. You can even do that one leg at a time. Let one heel get closer to the mat, and bend the other knee, and then switch sides and walk out that dog. You can keep that spine long and the hips high. You can come back to being in stillness if you're in that walking out the dog. Let's step the feet a little wider. Walk the hands and feet together until we're in a forward fold. Once again, hands can be on the mat or they can push against the front of your legs, or you can use a block. If anyone feels dizzy here, bring your hands above your knees, lower your hips, and bring your head above your heart. Or if you want to, you can grab the elbows and hang like a rag doll if that feels good to you. Let's all check in with the muscles of our shoulders and our neck. We feel so much tension there. See if we can let those muscles get a little break. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. At the top of the head heavy. Sway a little bit side to side by softening one knee and then the other. Come back to being still. Bring the hands to the hips. Bend the knees even more. Lower the hips. Let the weight shift to the heels and use those muscles of the thighs. Come up to standing. I'm going to turn to face the long edge of the mat. Do a little bit of work here, standing. So let's bring our feet to about hips distance. Lining up our hip bones with our knees and our ankles, letting the toes point forward, and finding that sense that we're rooted down to the earth through our heels, outside edges of the feet, and big toes. Feeling as we press down into the earth, how our legs activate, the sides of our body activate, that energy makes us tall. Still letting ourselves have a sense of ease. Let the knees be soft, let the shoulders drop from the ears. Arms are at ease at our sides. We're going to rotate the biceps, the belly of the arms to face forward. Just how that opens the chest. Let the jaw soften, the forehead soften. Breath here. Inhale, reach our arms up. Exhale, hands to hearts. Inhale, lift hands up again. Find a little back bend here. And then exhale, let's dive forward into forward fold. Knees can soften. Then we're going to come halfway up. Hands can be on the front of your legs to come halfway up. You can have hands at heart center at your waist. Again, let the knees soften as much as they need to find that long spine. Can you find that same sensation that you felt when you're in tabletop? Tailbone right out behind you, top of the head in front, spine long. Let's soften the knees. Inhale, come. All right. From here, let's extend our arms out, fingertip to fingertip, so that our elbows and wrists are in line with our shoulders. And we're going to use our wrists to kind of guide us on how wide we're going to step. We're going to try to get our ankles so they're right underneath our wrists. So this is a big, wide stance. And we're going to let our toes point straight forward to the front of our mat. And let's inhale and reach up. And exhale, bring your hands to our hips. And from here, we're going to do another little back bend. Inhale, let the hips come forward, let the chest come facing the sky. And then exhale, we're going to hinge through those hip creases and fold forward. Once again, hands can slide down the front of the legs. Come to a mat, a block. Noticing that sensation in your feet. If you feel all the weight on your heels, can you shift some of that weight to the balls of your feet and vice versa? If all the weight's on the balls of your feet, can you shift back to your heels just a little? Can you find that balance? You can use hands on the legs or on the hips, or you can bring them to heart center. Let's soften the knees, press to the outside edges of the feet, and come up halfway again. Elbow behind, crown of the head in front. Take a breath here. Next inhale, let's come all the way up. All right, let's extend the arms back out. Do a little warrior flow here, turning our right toes towards the short edge of our mat. Take a glance down, get that right heel lined up so that it would make a straight line through the instep of the left foot. Our body is centered right over the pelvis, so we're not leaning forward or back. Tall here, and we're going to start to bend this right knee. And it can bend all the way until it's right over the ankle. If it doesn't come quite that far, that's fine. It can be back here a little. I just want you to avoid having it come way out over the ankle. It's going to be hard to balance and put some pressure on the knee. So if you find yourself there, maybe take a bigger stance or back off a little. All right, let's take a glance down at that right knee. I want it to line up with that second and third toe. So if it started to drift in, see if you can use the muscles of your thighs, your seat, to bring it back in alignment. All right. Once you have that, let's look over the right shoulder. Take a breath here. I'm going to change this just a little bit. We're going to let the arms drop down. I'm going to keep the legs just as they are. And now we're going to tilt the body so that we're making a long line all the way along the left side of the body. Right arm might be resting on the right thigh. Might be reaching down a little further towards the earth, using a block to rest your hand. Just make sure as you come down that the torso stays rotated towards that long edge of your mat. If you start to twist this way, maybe come up a little farther so that you can keep that. Keep the left hand on your hip, or if you want to do an extension here, bring the left bicep right next to the left ear. Make a long line from the fingertip all the way to the outside edge of that left foot. Let's take one more breath here. Now we can let the body turn. We're going to frame that front foot, pivot through the back foot, and we're in a lunge. And you can stay in this kind of high lunge with the back knee lifted, or if you want to lower it, you can. There's lots of options here. Feel free to explore this lunge a little bit if you want. Hands on the mat, off, thigh. You can even reach them overhead. Couple breaths here. Find what feels right for you this evening. And then let's take one more breath. And let's bring our hands back to the mat if you've moved them. If you've lowered the back knee, we're going to tuck that back foot and lift the back knee. We're going to do this fun little thing where we switch to the other side. So kind of pivoting the feet and coming all the way over into lunge on the other side. You need to stand up to get there. You don't like that pivoting motion, don't worry about it. Just come until you're in a lunge with the left knee bent over the left ankle. Again, you can find what works here for you. Maybe hands are on the mat or the thigh. Or reached overhead. We're going to do those same 3 movements that we did on the other side. We're just going to do them in opposite order. All right, one more breath here and lunge. And then if that back knee is down. Let's tuck the back toe and lift the back knee. And then we're going to turn the body, face the front again in that side angle. Turn our foot so the toes point to the long edge of the mat. Use a block here. Come into that extension or not. A couple breaths here. See how this feels. Next, inhale. Let's leave the legs as they are and cartwheel into warrior two. Need to make any adjustments to make that stance work for you, go ahead. Looking out over left shoulder. One more breath. Let's drop the arms, straighten that knee, turn the toes back to the front, and then let's heel toe our feet in until the heels are a little bit wider than the shoulders, toes are wider than the heels. We're going to inhale, reach up, interlace the fingers. The biceps by the ears, point our fingers to the sky, and little side bend here. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, let's release the arms and start to bend the knees until we're in a goddess stance. So we're in this deep squat. You can do a little twist here if you want. And then let's come all the way down to the mat. And we're going to turn back and lay down on our belly here. We're going to do a little flow with locust on our belly. So the legs are extended long behind us. The big toes are touching. The heels are opening up wide. Lower ourselves all the way out of the mat, arms behind us. Let the back of the neck be long. Feel the forehead or the chin on the mat. We're going to press our hip bones down as we inhale and float our arms and legs up. The toes will come away from each other so it kind of gets wide, and then exhale, come back. We're going to do that as a set of three. So inhale, coming back up. We're squeezing all the muscles in our back. Exhale, come back. Inhale, all the muscles in our back body engage so that we can lift our body, and then exhale, come back down. And let's take a little break here. Rest the head on the cheek, maybe rock the hips side to side, or like the feet or legs. And we're going to do that again. So extending, legs out long, arms next to the sides of the body. Next, inhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Beautiful. You can rest your head on the other cheek. Rock it out again. We're going to do one more set like that. Let's come back to stillness. Set ourselves up for the last set of locusts. And inhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Take it out again. And then let's press ourselves up and back. If you want to take a little break for a moment in child's pose, you can. And when you're ready, press yourself up and bring your legs around in front. Put ourselves about midway down our mat. And using our hands to help lower down onto our back. And We're gonna do a flow for our bridges, and we're gonna do a little bit of a switch each set. So we're gonna do 3 sets. And the first set, we're gonna bring the feet and legs squeezed to the middle. So kind of a narrow bridge. Arms are long next to the sides of the body, palms are thin, pressing down, soles of the feet are pressing down. We're going to use that downward pressure to inhale and lift the seat, lift the low back, lift the middle back. And then exhale, lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And using the breath, inhale, lift up again. Exhale, lower down. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Hug the knees in. Rock a little bit here. And then let's lower the feet back down. And this time, let the feet and knees be hips distance apart, finding that alignment that we had earlier in mountain. Arms are long next to the sides of the body, and let's do a set of 3 here. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Bring the feet out to the edges of the mat. And from here, we can windshield wiper the feet side to side with a gentle twist. Coming back to center, we're going to keep the feet here. So now this is going to be like a wide bridge. Arms long next to the sides of the body. Pressing feet and palms down to inhale and lift up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And you can draw knees back in. You can make them in the center again, or if you want to have knees wide, you could do feet together into reclined butterfly, or maybe happy baby with feet up towards the ceiling. Finding what feels right for you. A couple breaths here. Coming back to stillness. If you're rocking, bring the knees back to center if they're wide. We're going to lower feet back to the mat with bent knees. Cross right ankle over left knee into figure 4. Stay here just like this. You don't need to change anything. If you want to, you can come into that reverse pigeon posture, lifting the left foot up. And you can come around that thigh if you want. And if there's any movement you want to make here, you can. Maybe pointing and flexing the left foot, or making circles with the ankle. Bend and straighten the left knee. You rock a little side to side. If there's any areas that just need a little bit more movement before you settle into your meditation, rest. If that left foot is lifted, let's lower it back down. Arms can come out to the sides to anchor you down. Keep the shoulder blades on the mat. And we're going to let the legs fall over towards the left for another spinal twist here. If you need to pick up the hips, move them over a little bit to make that feel right on your spine, go ahead. If you need to change the crossing of the legs, go ahead. Make this work for you. Take a couple breaths here. And inhale, we can come back to the middle. We're going to switch sides. Right foot comes down, left ankle over right knee, and stay here just like this. Nothing needs to change. If there are other options you want to come into, maybe that reverse pigeon or some movement here, feel free to find that. It's possible that the movement that feels right on this side, maybe different on the other side. See what your body needs here in this moment. That right foot is lifted. Let's take it back down to the mat. The arms come out to the sides again. Root down through the shoulder blades, and let's find that twist to the other side. Inhale, let's move back to the center. Left foot down. If there's any other movement or any other shape that you want to come into before you settle into your rest and meditation, feel free to find that movement or find that shape. And if you want to grab anything so that you will feel supported and at ease during our meditation, feel free to grab that now. Maybe pillows or blankets, dim the lights if you want. At home, you can really make the space work for you in whatever way that means to you. And I'll give you a minute or so to settle in, and then we'll start the meditation. As you're settling in, if you want to, you can let the eyes soften, be at ease. You can even close them if you want. You've been controlling your breath while we've been doing the movement part of the practice. Let that control release and allow your body to come back to breathing its natural rhythm again. It is okay if you start to drift in and out of sleep during the meditation. It's even okay if you fall completely asleep. I am going to ring the bell at the end of practice tonight, so that should bring you out of it if you sleep on your floor. Awareness to your sensing in the body, just in a quick scan of the jaw, shoulders, the arms, torso, legs. If there's any small adjustments you want to make now or any time during the meditation so you feel more supported and at ease, do that. Welcoming with curiosity and openness every experience you have during this meditation as a message of yourself here to help you find health, resilience, well-being, and wholeness. Allowing your senses to be open to the environment and the sounds around you. Sensations where your body touches the surface that's supporting it. Perhaps a sense of letting go and being at ease, body and mind. Paying attention to your inner resource or the felt sense within your body. You experience the feeling of being secure, strong, and at ease, a sense of wellness or being grounded. If it's helpful, you can imagine a place, person, maybe a pet, some experience that you've had that supports you to feel secure and at ease in this moment. Using all of your senses to enhance your experience. Sounds, sight, sensations, smells, and tastes. To provide ease and well-being to the entire body and mind. This felt sense of ease and well-being always exists within you. Come back to this inner resource whenever you want, day or night during this practice. You need to rest, restore, be totally secure and at ease. Find your intention for your practice this evening. To rest deeply, feel secure and at ease. Be open, welcoming to what you're experiencing. Whatever your intention, feel and affirm it with your entire body and mind as though it were already true. Allowing that sense of intention to deepen and grow within you. It begins to develop into a sense of your heartfelt mission in life, or the feeling of life living you, meaning, purpose, and value. Sensation. As you rotate attention through the body. As I name each part of the body, notice what you sense there. Maybe something little at all, but whatever you experience is perfect, just as it is. Sensing your mouth. In your ears, without thinking, sensing nose and nostrils, eyes, sensation, forehead, crown of head, neck, sensation, shoulders, following sensation down the arms, across the back of the hands, the fingertips, sensing the palms of the hands, sensing the chest and belly, upper and lower back, entire torso as sensation without thinking, experiencing. Awake to sensation, pelvis, seat, hips, the sensation down the legs, the tops of the feet, down to the tips of the toes, sensing the soles of the feet. Sensing now the entire body, the whole body, all at once, alive with sensation. Tension open, alert and sensing the entire body. Tension open to sensation and to everything that is present in your awareness. Where the body breathing itself, natural flow, air and sensation in the nostrils, throat, chest. While noting the body breathing itself. Beginning to count backward, 7, like this. Inhale, 7. Inhale, 7. Inhale, 6. Inhale, 6. So on. If you lose count or if you make your way to 0, simply start again at 7. Breathing itself. There and counting backward from 7. Attentive. Next exhale, release and counting. Back to sensing the entire body. Sensing everything that's now present in awareness. Any sensations that are present. Trying to change anything. Noticing any sensations that are present just as they are. Observing and welcoming any emotions that may be present. Trying to change anything. Welcoming sensations, emotions. They are. Remember, you can always return to that felt sense of ease and well-being, inner resource that you'd like to rest, restore. And when you're ready, you can come back to noticing your sensing, noticing emotion, maybe noticing any thoughts that are present. Noticing how these experiences are like objects coming and going in your awareness. Rising and falling. Like the breath is rising and falling in the body. There's nothing you need to do. Let everything be just as it is. Taking aware, observing sensations, emotions, and thoughts. Observing without trying to change it. Everything just as it is. Now welcoming a sense of joy or happiness in your body. Or recall a memory, a particular person, animal, place, or circumstance that invites joy or happiness into the body. Observing how you experience joy or happiness. Is it a sensation like an inner smile, a warm glow? Is it a color, an image, sense? This is where you first experience joy or happiness in your body, face, or in your heart. And then imagine that that experience is expanding to include every cell of your body. Your whole body becomes alive with the experience of joy or happiness. Face, torso, your arms, your legs. Entire body alive with the experience of joy or happiness. It feels right. You're experiencing joy. You can take a few moments to welcome in the felt sense of your inner resource. Feeling secure, grounded, and at ease. Note how you are the observer of everything that's now present in your awareness. Wake, aware of sensations, emotions, thoughts, joy. Observing without trying to change anything. And just as it is. Nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be. This is your time to simply be. Allowing yourself to dissolve into being awareness. Sense of separation dissolving. A sense of non-separate wholeness with all of life. Wake, aware, at ease, everything just as it is. Connected to yourself, to the world around you, and to all of life. As you're resting here, if it feels right, take a few moments to welcome the felt sense of your inner resource. Feeling secure, grounded, and at ease. As you're ready to transition back into your evening, deepen your breath, or maybe take a deep breath and let it go with a sigh. Maybe make small movements or stretch. Still feeling that sense of wholeness, affirming again your inner resource of well-being, heartfelt mission, heartfelt sense of life living you with meaning, purpose, and value. Many intentions you wish to take with you into your daily life or into your next practice that support you in realizing and living your heartfelt mission. And the truth that in every moment you always have within you the resources you need to respond to each situation and circumstance in your life. Meditation is complete now. If you want to come back to seated, you're welcome to, or if you want to lie down, you're welcome to do that too. Take a moment to feel a sense of gratitude. Extending that gratitude to ourselves for taking time tonight for our health and wellness. Extending that gratitude to our soul, for supporting our practice, to Yoga Village for supporting this practice for veterans. I thank you all for sharing your practice with me this evening. Namaste, my friends. Ring the bell. Thank you all so much. I hope to practice with you again soon. Hopefully soon, face to face again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.